Meku aonekwa kuti zita reMDC rakange rasvibiswa nemhandu ngonzora komichina nakupe nevamwe. Saka kana mave kuzoenda kunovhota munofanira kucherekedza kwazvo chiso chachamisa nemasi matatu pamwe neruvara rwemabhanana. Votera Nelson Chamisa, voterai pamasi matatu. Voterai Nelson Chamisa, voterai paruvara rwemabhanana. Voterai Nelson Chamisa, voterai pamasi matatu. Voterai Nelson Chamisa, voterai paruvara rwemabhanana. Musanyengedzwa nebato rezanu, muchipiwa mbeu nefotereza. Tinoda bato rinounza mabasa kuti mugozvitengera mega zvamunoda. Bato rezanu rauraya nyika, muzere mbavha dzinoba zvikuru. Vanongozvifunga ivo vega, mwomo yenyika ichikangawaya. Kana vouya kwamuri vanonyepa kuti masanction auraya nyika. Nyamba varivo vanouraya nyika nekuda kweuori hwavanoita. Votera Nelson Chamisa, voterai pamasi matatu. Voterai Nelson Chamisa, voterai paruvara rwemabhanana.
Good morning, good afternoon, Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for joining your favorite program, your weekly program by Change Radio News Review, where we talk about news that made the headlines throughout the week. Please do join us and also find time to share these videos so that as many people as possible can come and hear what we are discussing here. I know we are live on Change Radio YouTube, Change Radio, the radio itself, and we are also live on Change Radio Facebook. We welcome you, our viewers and listeners, from all those pages. We are also live on ZimEye. Thank you. We appreciate you. Takanzi, munonyanya kutaura nechirungu chife, munenge mchitaurira aniko nesuwo kuno kutoda kunzwa mchitaura shona. Saka tikuti kana muri pano chibvai matora mukana kutora zvatiri kuita pano muchiisawo kumagroup ekudzimba kwenyu, macommunity groups, mafamily groups, kuti vanhu vauye vazonzwa nyaya dzakanaka dzatiri kutaura pano. Tichataura nyaya yevoter registration blitz, totaura nyaya iri mudariro iri kunetsa chaizvo, nyaya yedocumentary reAljezeera, uko vanhu veZANU-PF vakabatwa pachena vachiba mari, vachiba goridhe, zvirimo zvese imomo. Takarimirira documentary iroro. Tichataurawo zvakare nezvemugwazo, zviri kuitwa nemayouth, zviri kuitwa nemadzimai. Saka musaende kure, totsvagai vamwe, shedzai vamwe, deidzai vamwe, vauye tikurukure tiri pamwe chete. Handisi ndega pano, muri kuona ndina partner in crime wangu mukanya, DJ Prof. Sanganai nemhuri yeZimbabwe.
Makadini ruzhinji rweZimbabwe. Chokwadi chaicho kuti vanhu vakapa chichemo chokuti chirungu dzimwe nguva chinotipotsa. Rambai muchiwanza rurimi rwamai. okambe nesikhulume nesiNdebele so that abanye abasuka emathebeleni bayasizwa basikhuluma sithini. So chakata tichazama kungoti apo neapo patinenge tichidhobhadhobhawo isiNdebele sisingenise ndawonye and sihamba kakuhle sihamba kanje. So zvichakadaro ndinoti pachipamwe matimana kwese kwese ngave kwamuri ndinonzi DJ Prof sezvamangonzwa kuti mugapure nyama mune mhere kune matopiki akasiyana siyana tinge tichipakurirai nhasi unoyu paChange Radio Zimbabwe. Ndaona pane vakomana nevasikana vatopinda. Thank you so much for your comments and tauya ndo pamushapenyu panapa tichange tichikuudzai zvese zvamunoda kunzwa kunyanyanyanya mayouth. Pane blitz iri kuuya takuudza kuti chii chiri kuitika and muchafamba sei. Asika pane iri mudariro iri kutsviriridza iri kupisa iri mugango takupai zvakare. Thank you so much.
Davison Mufema hanzi give us update dzembavha idzi dzeZANU-PF. Tasvika pano pamusha wedu CCC. Yes, keep the comments coming. Isu mayouth tinofanira kumuka zvino zvisati zvaoma. Let's act now, otherwise this will all be gone. Tisu vanhu vacho. Yes, Simba, you are very right. Isusu tamadhara tasamone bvudzi rachena takutorovera kuenda nyaya ndeyenyi. So we need all the youth to rise up so that you can secure your future. Estella, you can come in and direct us which topic we are starting with, and also greet our viewers and listeners.
Thank you, Maita Chief. Tinokuchingamidzai vateereri nevatariri vadiwa. A warm welcome to this episode of our Change Radio News Review. Thank you for those who have already posted comments, and we encourage you to engage. Post your comments. We will read them and answer your questions if you have questions. And if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, do subscribe so that you can always be notified the next time we are coming live. If you have not followed us on Facebook, we encourage you to do so. Without much further ado, I think we can just move right on to our first topic, the hot one. The Aljezeera documentary that was scheduled to be released on the 2nd of March. Chief, would you like to guide us into this?
Yes, this is a very explosive documentary that took over 2 years with Aljezeera journalists going undercover and pretending as if they wanted at one time, as if they wanted to buy gold, and some journalists are also coming in as people who could transport the gold. It was a very sophisticated operation that managed to penetrate the ZANU-PF smuggling syndicate that included Chinese nationals, Russian nationals, and Vana Papa and Papa Vacho, pastors for ED, were involved in this syndicate. And some of them, in the snippets that we are getting, were even calling General Chiwenga, General Chiwenga, a very strong man, a very powerful man in Zimbabwe. He's being called Danderhead in some of those discussions. And in also those discussions, we are seeing the first family being, or so-called first family, being fingered in protecting the smugglers. Emmerson Mnangagwa has been roundly, we knew all these things, that is what he does. He takes bribes from people so that he can protect them. He takes bribes from those that are committing offenses. And of course, some of them are committing the offenses on his behalf. Vaya vanonzi marana, vanenge vachishandiswa, ndo vanenge vachivhuriswa makambani, vachimhanyiswa kunosaina madeals and everything. but they're actually fronting for Emmerson Mnangagwa. They are fronting for the twins. They are fronting for Auxilia Mnangagwa. The family is in a race in itself to amass wealth. So you find that the twins have their own companies. Auxilia Mnangagwa has her own companies. Mnangagwa himself also has his own companies. So the whole family is looting. They are running Zimbabwe as a family business. And this is what was exposed. And these are things that we have always been saying, that corruption is that has killed Zimbabwe. Our economy is on its knees today. People are suffering in Zimbabwe. People are going, not because as ZANU-PF wants us to believe, not because of sanctions, but because of the massive corruption that is going on. You hear in the videos that we are going to play, some of them confessing that they can transport or they can smuggle at least 200 kgs in a week. 200 kgs in a week. If you just go on quick Google search, you see that a kg, is costing over 68,000 or so. So if you multiply 200 kgs times 200 kgs times that amount, you get well over $12 million a week. 200 kgs is almost to $12 million. So that's what we are losing in 1 week. In just 1 week, we are losing money that can build another Parere Nyatwa. And then you put it into perspective again. You multiply, the 1 week, and then you add all the weeks in a year. You get as much as I think about $540 million in a year. That's what we are losing every year. But this is just one smuggler. This is just one smuggler who is smuggling that. There are many. My Mangizo. I like calling her my Mangizo because she was my lecturer at Mashingo. And she was caught with 6 kgs of gold. That's another smuggler. You can calculate how much that is. And we have other people, like the pastor, that are also smuggling on their own. And there are many people, the celebrities, that are also being used to smuggle gold. So you can imagine how much gold we are losing every week. I think we are losing as much as 1,000 kgs every week. And if you put that into monetary terms, you see that it's almost $1 billion. So we are losing a lot of money through corruption. So Zimbabweans, you need to know why you are suffering. You are suffering because our minerals, our money is being taken out of the country. And it's corruption. It's corruption, not sanctions, that is making us suffer. So we're waiting for this documentary. We're waiting for it. And when it comes, let's all spread it out. Let's all share it. And let's take action about it. Let's not just enjoy it. Zimbabweans, tongofarira kuti tikaona chinhu tomhanya nacho ipapo 1 week zvopera. We want that documentary to be seen by diplomats. We want that documentary to be seen by senators, members of parliament in your respective countries. Let it go everywhere. Let it go to the United Nations. Let SADC see it. Let AU see it. Let everyone, especially those in South Africa that have been defending the ZANU-PF regime, the South African government, they need to see that video. And they can only see it if you guys share it. So, tinebasa pamberapo. And if it happens that ZANU-PF is successful, that the documentary don't end up seeing the light of the day, because right now we are hearing that ZANU-PF is putting pressure on Aljezeera not to publish that documentary. They are trying to stop them using every means. They were talking about legal routes that they can take. They are also trying to bribe Aljezeera. But we trust Aljezeera, It's a professional organization, and we hope that they won't give in to the millions of dollars that are being offered by the ZANU-PF government. We still expect Aljezeera to do what is right by the people of Zimbabwe and publish that documentary. If they do not publish that documentary, then they must expect to face the full wrath of the Zimbabwean people's anger. And I'll be in the forefront to attack them. I'll be in the forefront to report them to the United Nations, to report them to the, to all the organizations, journalism organizations, journalist organizations, anything, anywhere where we can report them. So this is a warning even to Aljezeera, if they are listening, if they will ever get to know about it, if they get bought by ZANU-PF and they don't publish the documentary, then Zimbabweans, let's be ready to fight them as well. Back to you, Estelle.
Oh, thank you, Chief. Maybe we might want to watch a short clip on the story. Yes. So we have about 3 of them. Here's the first one.
$1 billion money laundering operation.
The gold mafia is bigger than the government.
With financial institutions, regulators, and governments complicit.
Zimbabwe is open for business.
It is as right as the strike now.
In a 4-part series, Aljezeera's investigative unit goes undercover in southern Africa.
We control 90% of this government.
Once it's defined, it's practically brand new gold.
Coming soon on Aljezeera.
Turn dirty money into African gold.
I went to jail for gold when I was 21.
I do roughly about $70-80 million every month.
I do 200 kilos a week.
20 to 50 million a week.
An exclusive Aljezeera investigation.
There is a hell of a big opportunity to wash money here.
I do roughly about $70-80 million every month.
I do 200 kilos a week.
20 to 50 million a week.
An exclusive Aljezeera investigation.
Yes, those are the previews we have of the Aljezeera documentary, which we are hoping will still be released. I am hopeful that it will be released because everybody now knows that it has been made and it was due to be released on the 2nd. If Aljezeera should not release this, it will be an embarrassment for them on the world stage. Everyone is waiting, holding their breath to see what Aljezeera is going to do. So I am very hopeful that they will release. My only fear is they might edit it before they go ahead and release. Maybe they'll be pressured to remove some stuff that is sensitive to the looting ZANU-PF government. DJ Prof.
Yeah. I'm still optimistic that Aljezeera vari kubudisa documentary iri. Why I'm saying that? Because they've got that history of publishing without fear or favor. You know that if you read it about Aljezeera, if you go on YouTube, you see the documentaries that they are publishing of different countries. One of the examples of the documentary Rakabudisa in Southern Africa, it was in 2019 when they published a documentary in Namibia, Ryan Zero, the fish rot. And that documentary exposed a lot of corruption that was happening in Namibia. And a number of ministers in that country, some of them, they are still serving jail term as we are speaking. and Aljezeera is one of the richest, if not the richest in the world in terms of the news. I mean the news department, if I can say. So I don't think they will be bought with any, because those monies is exactly what they made people who were showing them a lot of money and speaking to them about a lot of money, and they know them and they know how and where, who is who, and what and how is being taken out. Saka izvozvo, I'm still optimistic, and ndiri kutaurira kuruzhinji rweZimbabwe, kwa viewers and listeners, kuti the documentary riri kuuya and richabudiswa and tichaziva kuti vanhu vari kuita war munyika ndivanani. And you can see kuti
DJ Profile Freezer. Oh no.
Maybe you'll come back. Or
Yes,
maybe
I'm
electricity is gone.
Oh yeah, it is 10 actually. 2 minutes
Yeah,
past
I
10.
guess
There's
that.
a good chance we've lost him. Chief, what do you think? Do you feel Zimbabweans are angry enough about the looting of national resources that has been ongoing for a long time in Zimbabwe? And if not, what do you think is the reason? Why are people not as angry as they should be?
Yeah, it depends on what we do as leaders in Zimbabwe, opposition leaders, and Triple C as a party, and other organizations, not only Triple C, but also other, political parties. It depends on how and what we do when the documentary comes out. If people receive it and then just watch it and leave it, as if nothing has happened, then people will not be angry. But I think this is a time when we have to be accused of inciting anger in people. We need to do that. There's a lot that responsible authorities can do, which includes going to court, making sure that we petition the police, the authorities in Zimbabwe to arrest anyone who is in the mentioned in the documentary, because the documentary doesn't just make accusations, blatant and substantiated accusations. The documentary provides even evidence of these people's involvement. If it is Chiwenga, he must go to jail. If it is Emerson Mnangagwa, he must be arrested. If it is Papa, pastor for ED, and anyone else who is involved, if there is evidence of a wrongdoing, they must be investigated and they must be arrested. And pressure must be put on the authorities to exercise their authority. And that pressure comes from you and me. It should not only come from Triple C. It should not only come from certain organizations. It should also come from us as citizens, as Zimbabweans. But I know Zimbabweans joke about everything and anything.
Yes.
This is not a joking matter. No, let's be serious about this. When it comes out, let's take action. Let's do what we have to do and make sure that the culprits are brought to book. This is something that I think we should have, both people in ZANU-PF and Triple C and the Monzora and other political parties, even in members of parliament, coming together and saying enough is enough. This corruption is just way too much, and it's causing the suffering of our people. So now let's take action. We don't want people who come out and talk just like what Temba Muliswa does. He talks in parliament and then it ends there. We want action from our parliamentarians, all the parliamentarians. They should be prepared, and they should be preparing right now what they are going to do with the culprits, so that they are brought to book. Estella, I think you agree with me on that. Vanhu ngavasungwe.
Yes, exactly. And like you rightfully said, it is up to us, all the citizens, to come together and speak with one voice and demand that all those who are found, all those who are implicated and found guilty should be arrested. I feel, Chief, like you said, Zimbabweans tend to joke around about everything. You know, some epic event takes place and we make jokes about it and then we move on and life goes on. Sometimes I think maybe a lot of Zimbabweans don't realize that they have ownership of national resources. A lot of people think that national resources belong to the government, to ZANU-PF government. And so they are okay with seeing ZANU-PF government officials doing as they please with national resources. In fact, I've addressed a person who was saying Chamisa has nothing, ED has money. If I vote for ED, I will get something. Because he doesn't realize that this money which he's saying ED has money is not ED's money. It is your own money which ED is taking and using as though it is his personal property. So the reason why musingaite hasha maZimbabweans is because most of us hatisati tapanzwisisa ipapo kuti everything that is a national resource belongs to you. It's your personal property. Zvakafanana nekana uri mwana wepamusha, zvese zviri pamusha ipapo ndezvako. Ukaona munhu achiuya achitora mota achitora chinhu pamusha ipapo ukasiya ari kukubira iwewe. People who are looting from our country are looting from you, the citizen. All national resources belong to us, and we are all supposed to benefit from our national resources. You would ask me how? These national resources are supposed to be used to develop infrastructure, marodzi, kuti tiwane mvura yekunwa, kuti tiwane magetsi, kuti kumahospital kuve kune mishonga, kune madoctors nemanurses ari professional, kwekuti ukaenda kuhospital unoenda uine confidence dzekuti unobuda warapwa. Kuchikoro kuine syllabus nemafacilities ese anonidwa kuchikoro kuti mwana adzidze, abude muchikoro imomo ava a productive adult anokwanisa kushanda achicontributor to the economy of the country. Asi the way ZANU-PF does things, vanotora mari idzodzo, maresources enyika, voisa muhomwe dzavo, vouya vachikupai cup yerice kuti ndivhotere. Mari dzenyu imimi dzadzichifanira kudevelopa infrastructure yenyu, mahospitals, maroads. Kune nyika dzakawanda kana kuSouth Africa chaiko vanhu vanopuhwa mari kana vasingashande. Zvinofanira kunge zvichiitika muZimbabwe izvozvo, kuti kana uri chirema unenge uchitopuhwa mari, kana waretired unenge uchipuhwa mari, kana uri usingashande unenge uchipuhwa mari yekuti ukwanise kusustaina living yako. Mari dzese idzodzo dzinenge dzichibva kumaresources enyika nekumataxes, but izvozvo hazvisiso zviri kuitika muZimbabwe. Mari dzemataxes nedzemaresources enyika dziri kutorwa nevamwe vanhu vachiisa muhomwe dzavo, vachiita kunge mari dzavo, kusvikira vanhu vava kutotenga kuti thank you, mandipa cup yerice, mandipa cup yeshuga. So it is time for us maZimbabweans kuti tisumuke, tizvistope. We have to put a stop to this, and there is no one who can do it for us. Tototenda Aljezeera, it has done a big part of it for us. They're exposing it to the entire world kuti ndo zviri kuitika. Kana kuine maZimbabweans vanga vasati vazviziva kuti ndo zviri kuitika, vaive vanenge vachiti proof iri kupi, iyo proof iyo iri kuprovidwa. Mazviona mazviziva kuti ndo zviri kuitika. It is time to take action. It is up to us to make sure we put a stop to this, because if we don't, the situation in Zimbabwe is going to continue to escalate. Things are going to keep getting worse. That we can be guaranteed. And I trust we cannot afford that. Things are bad enough as they are. I'm Chief and Soti.
Yeah, and there's Simba Mkanda Sama there. We're saying, and this Mugwadi guy is a fool, always a fool. Agadakwa, sure. Simba is talking about what Mugwadi did. I think he posted something on Twitter where he was saying Zimbabweans should stop watching Aljezeera, CNN, BBC, literal all the foreign media houses, SABC included. He actually posted that, and this is a war director of information for ZANU-PF who is saying people should only watch ZBC. I mean, that's the highest level of idiocy. You can't do that in this 21st
Day
century,
and age.
in this day and age. You can't do that. You can't tell me not to watch SABC, or not to watch CNN. I don't know, what kind of Mbanje is smoking, but he's not going to get that. That time, that era is over. It's not going to happen. We'll continue to watch, Zimbabweans will continue to watch whatever they want. They have no control over it. That's why people have satellite dishes. And ZANU-PF my satellite dishes. I mean, people are just being told the kind of people that they're being told to vote for. You vote for a party like that, that is people that think like that. Mugwadi is a potential minister of broadcasting or minister of information. He is there. He is very close to getting that position. Imagine if he gets a position like that, what he's going to do with it, what he's going to do with the power that comes from that office. So to avoid that, folks, this government should never come back. ZANU-PF should never come back after August this year. We should be talking about something else. Otherwise, we'll be in trouble, big trouble.
Yes, Chief, pane comment yandaona andrufunga kuti it's important to address it. Hands in a trust shomniwa, Zimbabweans have given up the fight against high-profile corruption because nothing is done to the perpetrators. Henrietta, Priska Mfumira, and many more are roaming free right now. Hanzi kunyangwe tikaisa pressure yedu vakasungwa vanhu ivavo vanozongobudiswa futi, and they'll be roaming free just like vamwe vatakaona ava. What can we as Zimbabweans do? Because it is down to us. So it looks like it's not enough. We pressure, they have to resign, they have to be arrested. What else can we do as Zimbabweans? And Muvunzo Indrukuisone ku comment section. We have to do something. But what can we do? What should we do to make sure kuti zvatiri kuda zviitike? If we leave it up to them, like the comment says, zvinozongopera like that, it will just die down. What can we do? Chief, mune ideas here, ndimi vana mukanya, munokanyaira.
Tiso vana mukanya, you can say that again. What I can say there, Stella, is that giving up is not an option. We can never give up on our fight against corruption. Giving up on fighting against corruption is like giving up on ZANU-PF and say, you know what, ZANU-PF are always rigging the elections, so let's forget about it. Let's just go on with our lives and see what happens. We can't do that. I could easily sit down here and enjoy the comfort of America, enjoy what America has to offer. We have millions of Zimbabweans that are living in the diaspora. They could easily say, you know what, we are good here, we are comfortable here. And in Zimbabwe, there are also people that have made it. However they have made it, I don't know. But if everyone says, let's stop fighting ZANU-PF, then we are just giving them, a free license, a free visa for them to do whatever they want, and nothing is ever going to improve. The looting will continue, the corruption will continue, the suffering will continue, the human rights abuses will even get worse. So giving up is not an option. We'll continue to fight, we'll continue to do what we can, we'll continue to expose them. And some of the things are things that we can do, practical solutions. we see people that are being used by the system, and we know that she's being used by the system. I'm not talking about something here that anyone doesn't know. She declared herself as a ZANU-PF person, and she was appointed ambassador, whatever, brand ambassador by Emmerson Mnangagwa. We see her whining and dining with the first family. She is obviously supporting ZANU-PF, which is a democratic right. We don't have a problem with that. But why do we then support people like that? People like Ja Preza, we know that they're supporting the system. We continue to go to their shows. We continue to help them one way or another. Herald, we know that it's a newspaper that is biased, that bashes the opposition and always supports ZANU-PF. But we continue to buy Herald. People continue to buy Herald. Herald is still functioning today because people are buying Herald. Why don't we boycott? There's something called boycott. Those things are within our power. We have supermarkets that are owned by ZANU-PF people. We have fast food restaurants that are owned by ZANU-PF people. Instead of just coming together and saying, let's boycott these shops, we cannot continue to buy things from people that are persecuting us. People don't do that. So we may blame the system, but really some of the solutions lie in us. So let's do what we can. If we have to report them to the International Criminal Court of Justice, whatever, ICU, United Nations, do anything. You just have to do something. Not doing something is not an option. We have to just keep going, report them to the police, even for the sake of record. We want to see our party, CCC, and other political parties, taking measures. I know Oppo talks about these things that we need to report. We need to go to court. We need to take action in parliament. Those things need to be done, regardless of the outcome. It has to be on record because before you go to SADC, before you go to AU, before you go to UN, they want to know whether you have exhausted your local remedies, and then they can also come in. So my friend, my brother who wrote there, giving up is not an option. We'll continue to fight, just like we'll continue to mobilize people to go and vote until Zimbabwe is free. Something will give. If people do what they have to do, citizens do what they have to do, something will give.
Yes, exactly. Pachirungu vanoti where there is a will, there is a way. Kana usati watanga kuita chinhu ka unogona kutofunga kuti aisha, it's not possible. But when you start doing it, you face a problem. Pakuedza kusolve a problem iyoyo, that's when you find the way. So as Chief is saying, giving up is not an option. We have to keep fighting and looking for ways and pressing and putting pressure on those vanoshandiswa kusapota ZANU-PF. As Chief said, vanhu vaive vakaita sana maititi ndimi munovasustaina, tisu tinovasustaina, patinoenda tichinozara pamalive avo tichikomenta tichiita sei tisu tinovabhadhara because ZANU-PF chainovabhadharira ka kuti vaite whatever agenda yavanenge vainayo kwatiri isisu. Vari kutoda time yedu patinenge tichivawocha vana maititi, ndozvavanenge vakaronga. Isisu tikaramba kunoona maititi vakaita live yavo ikaita 0 people, ZANU-PF will find that it's useless to keep paying this person. Hapana waari kuricha, we are not achieving maningirikini ata seta ne whatever monies they are paying to them. Saka in a way we are part of this, our system irikuti oppressor, because we sustain the very people vari kushandiswa kuti keep in that position of oppression. And this is the Chief Muchine Mohera Panya
yeah, we can move on.
Okay. Yeah, then next topic, voter registration blitz that has been announced for the 11th to the 21st of March 2023, ZEC iri kuplana kuita voter registration blitz to get as many people as possible to register to vote during that time. And our message to you is, Chief, what is our message to our viewers and listeners?
The message is let's take advantage of this 10-day voter registration blitz. We have been waiting for it. It's actually coming reluctantly from ZEC. ZEC did not want to do this registration blitz, but the party CCC continued to put pressure through our elections department, and our citizens were also putting pressure, and now we have these dates. What it means is people are now closer to the registration points than before. So where you were using a bus or a lorry to ferry people to the growth point, you don't have to do that. There will be mobile registration points that will be announced in due course. So you just have to pick the one that is closest and nearest to you. In towns and cities, it's even more advantageous because it means you can get a registration center right near where you live. All you need to do is to walk to the nearest registration center and register. This is a big opportunity. This is a great opportunity for all of us, not only the people in Zimbabwe. But I'll start by the people in Zimbabwe first, what they need to do. Obviously, they will have to mobilize the people on the ground, mobilize the virgin voters. Our youth task force led by Taku, they will be doing that. I know they are doing a fundraiser right now. Please go and support. They have to make sure that all those young people that completed their O-levels, that turned 18 this year, they go and register to vote. And there are millions of them. So this is a time of greater sacrifice and greater commitment. And those that are supporting the youth, this is the time to make your donation. This is the time to give the youth money so that they go out there and make sure that people are registered to vote. The women too, the women task force are moving around the country, and I know they're taking this very seriously. We want as many women as possible to be registered voters. 57% of the voting population consists of women. So we want all those women to go and vote. And we know from statistics that women vote more wisely than men. They are more likely to vote.
Women vote keeping in mind the situation at home that they have to deal with every day. Nevana, Nana Baba, sometimes vanenge vaine mamwe maagenda awo siri family orientated. So women are bound to vote wisely. Saka aiwa ana mama ngatiitei zvedu zviya zviya. Vana, let's encourage them. Vaende vanovhota. Vana baba futi ngativaencourage. Tinoziva isusu matactics edu ekuvaencourage. Tikavaencourage.
I won't ask you to say that.
Vese vanonovhota, vanonoregister zveshuwa tikashandisa matactics edu atinoziva ayaya. So bhora kwamuri ana mama ngatimhanye inaro.
Right, so Estella here is saying let's do everything and anything to make sure that people are registered.
So sure, it's this is no sarane nama yacho ana mai tikasarwira freedom yedu.
Exactly. Ndimuno munoendesa vana kuchikoro, ndimunoda kuti vone kuti chikafu chiripo here pamba. Yeah.
Akarwara ndiwa mai.
Right, so that's what the people in Zimbabwe have to do. The people outside Zimbabwe, with regards to the voter registration blitz, need to do something right now. We are always saying this. Please, you can contribute to the struggle in Zimbabwe, sitting in the comfort of your home in California, in North Dakota, in London, wherever you are, you can influence change in Zimbabwe. because all you need to do is to make sure that your people, vanhu vako, vanhu vauri kuchengeta, vanhu vauri kusapota, your children, your uncles, your folks, anyone, that relies on you, talk to them, find a way of enticing them to go and register to vote. We know that people don't have the appetite to go and register to vote. But if you talk to them, educate them, because you have to do our own voter education. That's the unfortunate part. ZEC is not doing any voter education. So we have to resort to doing our own voter education. And if voter education fails, then use the threats. Tell them, I'm not going to give you money for fees or for anything that you want next time unless you're a registered voter. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So the diasporans, wherever you are, you have a role to play. We know that the majority of you cannot go and register to vote and vote yourselves, but find something that you do. Encourage your family, encourage your community, encourage your constituents. Play a part wherever you come from, whether it's in town or cities or in the rural areas. Find something that you can do to make sure that you take advantage of this voter registration blitz. That's the last one. And there's nothing again that is going to come. But we're not saying voter registration will close. It will not close. But this is the right time for people to register in thousands, because it's not costly. You don't need transport. You just have to mobilize people, encourage people to go and register to vote.
Yes, indeed. And as you all know, you need an ID at the least to be able to register to vote. So Kanamuri Amuna ID, take advantage of this time between now and the 11th to run around and get together my documents Amuno needed to be able to take advantage of this voter registration blitz when it starts. Yeah. And our next story that is lined up is another really good one. The Change Radio Nyatsime Documentary. Chief,
Yes, a very good thing by Change Radio. There is a lot that happens in our country. People are being killed, human rights abuses everywhere. Mr. Tuesday was murdered in Bulawayo. Bonenmue was murdered in Kwekwe. A lot of people have lost their lives. Some have lost their properties in this struggle, but nothing is ever documented. If we are not talking about Bonenmue every now and again, or Mr. Tuesday, people would have forgotten. If we stop talking about More Blessing Ali, people will easily forget. And 10 years from now, nobody will remember what happened to Boneni Ngube. A staunch supporter of the movement, but nobody will be talking about him. So at Change Radio, we said we want to start documenting these big issues, or these issues in our struggle. And that's how the Nyatsime documentary was made. And the documentary, was done courtesy of Change Radio, but also courtesy of Zimbabweans in the diaspora, because it needed finances, it needed money, and we want to thank those that contributed. I think the budget that started at $3,000 ended up ballooning to more than $5,000, and we want to thank those that contributed. But we now have the Nyatsime issue all documented, people speaking up on their own. Change Radio was not making up anything. We were also taking interviews from other news medias, and we were using them. So it means everything that is there is legit. It's genuine. Even ZANU-PF's side is also documented in the documentary. So it will be premiering here in America very soon. I think at the end of the month or beginning of April. It will also premiere in Europe, premiere in the United Kingdom, and in Zimbabwe it will be shown for free. So we are still looking at where we are going to show it first. But this is a documentary that you need to see. It chronicles what the people in Nyatsime went through, their pain, and suffering, some that lost their properties that were burnt down, and some that were just assaulted for not having done anything. They were just there, in the area, in the vicinity, selling their wares. They were not even involved in what was happening, but they ended up being thrown in jail. So the Change Radio documentary traces all those unfortunate instances. So please do look forward to this documentary. I don't know if Estella, you can play the trailer.
Yes, we have it right here coming up.
Nyatsime ya area inotyisa. I would like to salute Mkoma Sakozi, Mkoma Steven Chuma, nekupinda mukati menzvimbo inoi. He is one of the first people kupinda mzvimbo inoi. Haisi kupindika. It's a terror zone.
The body of a Citizens Coalition for Change, CCC activist in Zimbabwe has been found. More Blessings Ali had been missing for 2 weeks.
Ali, who worked for Triple C, was reported missing in May. Her mutilated body was found on Sunday. The opposition has accused ZANU-PF of orchestrating the incident, a claim the governing party has denied.
We are informed that in one way or the other, there could have been a relationship between Ms. Blessing Ali, the later, and Pius Jamu.
If you commit rape today, you'll get a bailing in this court. You'll get a bail in this court. If you are job scholar, you have to go to High Court after 3 months.
Saka ilili sa wadi chairman, the councillor of the area, taziwataura kuti ndini baba wemushauno uyu ndowe ZANU-PF. In this case, handichabvumiri kuti funeral ite mushamangu.
Mwana ngakanaka ngasina kana chine munhu.
They are still installing fear in family.
So what they are alluding to is there was a love affair. It was, I think, a story that they were making up, a story that they then gave to the police.
I got on that scene, precious. I got busy writing anything.
Leta more blessing tamwana. Kuna vamwe muno mZimbabwe since 1980 wasina kuwanikwa. Wakaona wane ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has the history of killing citizens of this country.
Nezuro tichibva kumochari. Takangoudzwa tikanzi mangwana munoya makuseni. Tichitora chitunha chienda chese kuti chinoexamina. But nhasi tazoponerwa. Tazodzwa takunzi chiuya ikoko hatizive kuti chitunha chakaenda kupi ndichawana vari here amai vangu.
Justice is not even in Zimbabwe. Justice depends entirely on who you are and entirely before which magistrate you appear. It has nothing whatsoever to do with what our statute says is justice.
It's a clear sign that we are sliding back into executive tyranny, where the judiciary is rendered incapable of protecting citizens.
Yes, there you have it,
well,
our viewers.
That's the trailer there. Watch out for the full documentary. It's about 1 hour, 30 minutes. And that's something that you need to watch.
Yes, and we are going to premiere it right here. Chief,
if you are speaking, you might be speaking on mute.
No, I'm not on mute.
It looks like my partner in crime is having issues. Estella, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. I can hear you. We can go.
Okay, okay, excellent. Yes. So I was just informing our viewers and listeners that the documentary is going to premiere right here on our Change Radio YouTube page and our Change Radio Facebook page. So if you are not subscribed to our channels, please do so that you are notified when it premieres. It is part of our struggle in honor of More Blessing Ali, whose remains until now have not yet been buried, whose parents have not had closure, and her family have not yet had closure in the case concerning her assault, and murder, and dismemberment. In honor of the Nyatsime 17, I think they eventually went up to 22, is it?
Yes.
Yes. Whose lives were disrupted for months. Their families had to go without family members. Some could not send their children to school anymore. Their sources of living were lost. And until today, they are living with the aftermath of the Nyatsime event in honor of Honorable Job Sikala, who until today is festering in prison despite not having done anything to deserve a sentence. And he has not yet even been granted bail, let alone tried. So it is part of our struggle. We want to get this information out to every Zimbabwean. We want every Zimbabwean to be aware of what is happening in the country, because I feel sometimes people are withdrawn, they are distant from incidents taking part in the country because the government goes to great lengths to try and silence these things, so that out of ignorance, people do not react, they do not get angry as they should at many of the things that are happening that most citizens in most countries would be livid about. And so it is part of our struggle to get this information out there to all Zimbabweans and to the international community as well. So very soon it is going to premiere. Keep an eye out for it. Regatimbotarisa ma comments, Chief. Anzi namudzinga kundishora, these idiots just got to be in hell. That's the kind of anger we are talking about. Anzina Eletsani Kulawira, well done for this Nyatsime documentary, because even now some people think Job, who is still in prison, committed a sin for standing with the Ali family. Tinoda dzinodhonza mudanga umo. I salute you, guy, no fear. Taneta ni madhara aya. Yes, thank you, my brother. Knowledge is power. As long as they keep us ignorant of what's going on in the country, they can oppress us. But when everyone is conscious and aware, they cannot hold us back. Anzina Simba, Mukanda Tsama, tichavaita sezvaitwa timu yangu neLiverpool. Aiwa, iyo Chief ndimunoigona iyo yefootball. Chief muri pamute.
Okay, ndati kuna vamwe vanhu vapinda magumbeze nebhutsu. Mwana wangu atoriwo magumbeze nebhutsu anosupporta Manchester United. Saka vazvambaradzwa 7-0 nhasi. Saka samu tiri kufara hedu.
Ndozvatinoda kuvaita izvozvo pama-elections apa. Then last comment, Perceive Julius says, some areas need our leaders to come and preach to the people. As you know, in rural areas where there is no network, they are scared of ZANU-PF. Yes, you're absolutely right. And our leaders are doing something about that, which leads us actually to the next story, focus on Mugwazo. Once again, Chief, if you can lead us into this one.
Okay, yeah, Mugwazo, yeah, it's our special program, and we don't normally talk about it, but once in a while we just give you updates so that you know what's going on. you won't move around listening to those people that say Triple C is not doing anything. There is a lot that is going on. We have penetrated the rural areas in a manner that you would not have imagined, in a manner that even ZANU-PF itself, they are shocked as to the amount of ground that we have covered. There are people that are working in the 63 districts of Zimbabwe. Our former national executive leaders are busy on the ground, are busy in the rural areas. You know, people say, oh, we focus on rallies. We don't focus on rallies. We are doing door to door. We are there with the people. Tukumira kumagrosa nevanhu, tukuenda kuzvibhorani kunenge kuchitaura kunenge kwakamira vanhu. Vanhu vari kupindirwa mudzimba vachitaurwa navo. Ndo zviri kutoitika izvozvi. Ende zviri kuitika mazuva ose, kwete kuti paweekend chete. Vanhu vari kutogara ikoko. Kune vanhu vari kushanda. So people are working. Champions are working on the ground. That's the reason why when we bring fundraisers to you, we just want you to support them, because the people on the ground just need to be complimented. They just need the few help, the resources that they need. We're not giving them everything. You know, where they need money for bus fare, money for fuel, money for t-shirts, money for other things that might be needed in the campaign. Maybe what we are raising can only give them money for fuel, and they have to do the rest for themselves. So they are doing a lot, apart from sacrificing, apart from putting themselves out there and putting themselves at risk by ZANU-PF. They are also contributing their own personal resources. So what we are doing is just complementing what they are already doing. But there's a lot of work being done. And I can tell you, just like the reports that came out of the studies, that if an election was to be held tomorrow, Triple C would win. If I just say this without referring to the studies that were done by reputable companies, propaganda. This is not cheap propaganda. These are facts, because there's a lot of work that is being done on the ground. If an election is called tomorrow, Triple C would win, you know, by over 60%. And the professionals, the statisticians are also saying that. The pollsters, they are also saying that. So there's work being done on the ground. Let's just plug in somewhere, especially in the fundraisers that are ongoing. Right now, as we are speaking, the youth are fundraising. Let's go and support them. Immediately after this program, let's go and support the youth on Twitter and fundraise for them so that they're able to keep on mobilizing the youth and get them registered.
Yes. So to my brother who wrote in comment, a lot is being done behind the scenes, and the pictures we're flighting were from Chinoi Mugwazo, which was done today, and from Matebeleland South, where women also were doing Mugwazo. We also have a video from Matebeleland South where the women were doing their Mugwazo. I'm just going to play it for you.
Yapota hama dzangu musavharirana kuti wakambobvira ikuzanupie kuba. Kana vamwe vedu vakambopatuka veve vakaenda uko, kana vakauya varegedzei vauye. Kana tikadzikira 60 million votes hadzisvikiba.
Yes. So our youth, our women, they are continuing to fight hard to penetrate.
That was Councillor Mkwada there speaking in Matabeleland, but really she has traversed the length and breadth of the country. She has been everywhere.
Can you hear me, Chief?
Back to you, Estella.
So it looks like we are having technical issues again, Chief.
Estella, if you are speaking, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the next story that we have on our lineup.
Looks like Estella is still on mute. We talked about Mugwazo and the women and youth task forces. We just combined those two. So the last topic on our list is that state fails to bring evidence against Honorable Job Scholar in court. Honorable Job Scholar is still in jail, and everyone else on the Nyatsime that we're talking about, the Nyatsime 22, has been released, but Honorable Job Scholar is still there. We know and we believe and we are sure that Honorable Job Scholar is not a criminal and did not commit any crime. This is just a political persecution. This is just ZANU-PF harvesting fear. This is just ZANU-PF trying to tell the people that if you criticize us, if you expose corruption, if you talk against ZANU-PF, we will arrest you. But we have seen everyone who has been released from jail, that it's not working for ZANU-PF, because everyone who has been released from jail, they will be coming out declaring that they are going to continue fighting. They are going to continue standing with the people. And I know whatever they're doing to Honorable Job Scholar, even if they release him today, you will be declaring that you will continue to fight on the side of the people. They are trying to use the case of Honorable Job Scholar to divide the party. You hear ZANU-PF saying Job Scholar is not happy, that people are not supporting him. All those are lies. Honorable Job Scholar knows that President Chamisa is with him. He knows that his CCC family has stood with him. We may not go and write on Twitter everything that we do for him and his family for the sake of his dignity and his family's dignity. But I can tell you that we will never leave our comrade. We will never leave any comrade behind. We are fully and sincerely behind Honorable Job Scholar. And what the state is doing is just tormenting him, terrorizing him, and abusing his rights, because Honorable Job Scholar has a right to bail. That's a constitutional right. They're just manipulating the courts and making sure that Honorable Job Scholar doesn't come out. But we know that just like they've done in the past 68 times that they've arrested Honorable Job Scholar, they're not going to find him guilty. He's going to come out there without any charges, because there's nothing. They don't have any evidence. Just like what happened this week. They are now on trial. They're now doing a trial, but they are failing to provide evidence. They are coming up with lots of lies. The case that Job Scholar is being tried for happened on Zim-I, and the prosecutor was lying, saying that they've tried to conduct Simbach Kanza so that he can give evidence, but they never did. They're just lying, and they are lying because they know that they don't have anything against Honorable Job Scholar. So we'll continue to stand with our comrade, and those in Zim, let's continue to attend his courts, and those that are supporting his family with survival, kids, food, and money. Let's continue to do that. Perceive Julius is saying who is campaigning for him. Yes, this team is doing a lot of work in St. Mary's Chitungiza, and we continue to pray that he will be released in time for the elections. Estelle, are you back?
Can you hear me, Chief? Okay, viewers and listeners, Chief still hear me. Just allow him to move on to the next.
I don't know whether it's my Maybe Estella is speaking and I'm not hearing here. Police disrupt Winky D concert. Yeah, this happened in Chitungwiza again. Winky D was having a show or a concert in Chitungwiza, and ZANU-PF thugs tried to come in and disrupt the show. They were chased away by citizens there, by Zimbabweans there, and then they went and got the help of the police. That's when they took Winky D from the stage, which is very, very unfortunate, very, very unfair. He was taken from the stage while he was playing. And sometimes I just say, you know what? These police, sometimes they need to be, just resistant, not fought, because I know people will end up quoting me and misquoting me here. But they need to be resistant. How can you, take away someone who is working? He had a clearance for him to have this show, and because ZANU-PF thugs went to them, they came and the audacity to remove Winky D from the stage. This is very, very unfortunate. A clear violation of people's rights, including Winky D. That's the show there, and the police are coming in. The ZANU-PF thugs. There's actually a video, but unfortunately, we may not be able to play it right now. But, this is very sad. Very, very sad.
Can you hear me?
Estella, I think we have gone through all the topics that we wanted to talk about today. Save to just thank everyone for joining. We appreciate you. Thank you for the comments that you were giving. We don't take that for granted. Thank you for the support. We appreciate you. Let's continue doing what we need to do as citizens so that we win Zimbabwe for change. We win big and we defend big. But first of all, we want to register big and vote big in August. It looks like the elections will now be in August. Thank you very much, folks. We appreciate you. DJ Prof, who dropped because of electricity in South Africa, and Estella behind the scenes, and everyone else who was here. We thank you. We appreciate you. God bless you. Until we meet again in other programs, those that are here, please, let's just move over to Twitter, to the youth Twitter fundraisers and fundraiser, and make sure that the youth are equipped for the voter registration blitz. Good day and goodbye. Chief Shoshe signing off.